This is TechCrunch. Former NBA Lakers star Meta Standiford Artest, formerly known as Meta World Peace, has teamed up with Steven Stokols, the former CEO of Boost Mobile, to launch True Sky Ventures, a firm looking to invest in sports and health tech, according to Sportico. The firm wants to raise $100 million and cut its first formal check to the performance beverage company Barcode, founded by former New York Knicks and LA Lakers performance director Mubarak Malik, Sportico reported. The news comes after more athletes are entering into the venture capital space. Milwaukee Bucks player Giannis Antetokounmpo announced the launch of a firm called Build Your Legacy to invest in sports and entertainment companies. Steph Curry, Serena Williams, and Kevin Durant also have their own venture firms. The first Lucid Motors Gravity SUV has rolled off the company's production line in Casa Grande, Arizona, according to a post on X. The company will now set its aim on ramping up production of the new electric vehicle and making the first deliveries, though the company is staying quiet about when it will hand those first vehicles over to customers. It's a crucial milestone for Lucid, which is banking on the Gravity's SUV form factor, turning it into a bigger success than its lone current model, the Air sedan. The Air has been off to a much slower start than Lucid originally predicted, and while sales have increased the last few quarters, the company has kept going back to its majority owner, Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, for more money to make sure it can stay afloat through the first year of Gravity production and deliveries. The initial Grand Touring version of the Gravity starts at $94,900. The company boasts that it can travel more than 440 miles on a full charge. 2 electric motors, one front, one rear, help it create the equivalent of 828 horsepower, and it comes standard with 2 rows but can be optioned to have 3. A cheaper version of the Gravity is slated to roll off Lucid's production lines in late 2025 and will start at $79,900. Recycling today kind of sucks. People are generally confused about what can be recycled and where. As a result, only about 32% of eligible waste actually gets recycled. It would be a lot easier if people could dump everything into one bin and let the waste management companies deal with it, but that's proven to be too expensive with humans in the loop. Enter robots. Myriad companies, from small startups like Glacier to large multinationals like Apple, have been working to automate recycling. Most of that work has centered on the robots, placing them in existing facilities to help humans recover more waste. More recently, AMP Robotics, an early entrant, changed its business model to focus on running entire facilities. That shift has now netted the company $91 million in fresh funding. The decade-old company has deployed around 400 robots, and it operates 3 facilities with another in the works. Companies can specify how many sorting modules depending on how much trash they need to sort or which material they're looking for. Inside, cameras watch the flow of trash, using AI to identify what can be recycled, and robotic arms pluck bits from the conveyor belt. AMP handles operations, maintenance, and upgrades, with the contracting company handling waste sourcing, offtake of any valuable materials, and disposal of anything that can't be recycled. It's basically another as-a-service business model, with the company charging per ton of waste sorted. The new funding round, a Series D, was led by Congruent Ventures, with participation from Blue Earth Capital, California State Teachers Retirement System, Liberty Mutual Investments, Wellington Management, Range Ventures, Sequoia Capital, Tau Capital Partners, and XN. The round is a little smaller than AMP's Series C, which, after additions, ended up raising $104 million per SEC filings, highlighting the challenging fundraising environment that many mid- to late-stage startups face. Fly Ventures, the Berlin-based VC that invests in seed-stage European startups within enterprise and deep tech, has launched its third fund at €80 million. The firm raised its last €53 million fund in 2020. Aiming at technical founders, the firm claims Fund 3 was oversubscribed and raised in a single closing. Meanwhile, the small increase in fund size reflects the firm's desire to operate as a boutique firm. Founded by Gabriel Matuszka and Frederick Bergenlid, Fly Ventures invests €1 to €4 million in rounds of €2 to €10 million at the inception stage. Matuszka told TechCrunch, "We like doing things that, at the time, other people think, what the? Material science and AI? These days, more people do it, but our game plan is to do these kinds of investments 2 or 3 years before anybody else cares." With Matt Wikrowski, Marie Breyer, Bergenlid, and Matushka, the firm operates in an equal GP model of 4 partners, each distributed across Berlin, London, Paris, and Zurich. I think the Berlin/London thing specifically is also plus Munich, because from Berlin you can cover Munich, and for the more technical stuff, Munich tends to be a bit stronger, but it was always clear you had to do Germany and the UK. Then I guess over the last 4 years or so, Paris, on the more technical side, also really accelerated, which is the reason why we also added Marie, who is based in Paris, said Matushka. Bergenlid previously worked at Google on Google Assistant, and Matushka previously founded travel shopping club Trip Hunter, acquired by Brands for Friends, now owned by eBay. AI has so far accounted for about 45% of Fly's investments, with vertical applications and industrial tech taking up 35% and dev tools/infrastructure taking up 20%. In its portfolio exists clinical trials marketplace Inato, anti-money laundering startup Solve, and cybersecurity startup GitGuardian. Another, Wave, recently raised $1.05 billion in a Series C round led by SoftBank to progress autonomous driving with self-learning technology. It's also invested in Lakera, a Zurich-based startup that aims to protect enterprises from LLM vulnerabilities, and Orbital Materials, a UK-based company developing foundation models for materials science. That's all for now. For more stories like this one, visit TechCrunch.com.